comes from the book of John, chapter 13, verses 1 through 7 and 12 through 17. It was just before Passover festival. Jesus knew that the hour had come for him to leave this world and go to the Father. Having loved his own who were in the world, he loved them to the end. The evening meal was in progress, and the devil had already prompted Judas, the son of Simon Iscariot, to betray Jesus. Jesus knew that the Father had put all things under his power, and that he had come from God and he was returning to God. So he got up from the meal, took off his outer clothing, and wrapped a towel around his waist. After that, he poured water into a basin and began to wash his disciples' feet, drying them with the towel that he had wrapped around him. He came to Simon Peter, who said to him, "Lord, are you going to wash my feet?" Jesus replied, "You do not realize now what I am doing, but later you will understand." When he had finished washing their feet, he put on his clothes and returned to his place. "Do you understand what I have done for you?" he asked them. "You call me teacher and Lord, and rightly so, for that is what I am. Now that I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you should also wash one another's feet. I have set you an example that you should do as I have done for you. Very truly I tell you, no servant is greater than his master, nor is a messenger greater than the one who sent him. Now that you know these things, you will be blessed if you do them."
Risen today, hallelujah. Sons of men and angels sing, hallelujah. Raise your joys and triumphs high, death is now thy strength.
always, I have two things I'd like to share with you. I've shared the first with the administration and the faculty and staff, but you're part of the Cardigan family as well, and I need to share with you. The first will be some news about me. The second will be a poem that is both meaningful to me personally and relevant to our lives together here at Cardigan Mountain School. First of all, I want to explain what's happening with me. Perhaps you've missed me on several days. Perhaps you've noticed that I've been on a liquid diet and meals. Since November, I've had some health issues that turned out over spring break to be of a very serious nature. Since then, I've been addressing those concerns. For those of you who don't know me well, I faced health challenges in 2010, 2012, and now in 2014. It's turning out to be a memorable year for my health also. I'm told that bad things happen in groups of 3, so I should be fine and home free once I've cleared the present challenge. Over the past 2 months, I've been diagnosed with esophageal cancer. The good news is I am strong and expect to beat this challenge. I'm not looking for your sympathy, only your support. I have received unlimited support from the Cardigan administration and staff, for which I am ever grateful. And with your support, I will fight this cancer, and I have every expectation of a win. For now, just know that I am optimistic, and I want you to feel free to talk with me if you have any questions. I, for one, am always asking questions of my doctor. The second thing I want to share with you is a poem written by Will Allen Dranguli in the late 1800s. Please listen carefully at the end. I'd like to share with you why it's so meaningful to me and to our Cardigan community. The poem begins. An old man going a lone highway came, at the evening cold and gray, to a chasm vast, deep, and wide, to which was flowing a sullen tide. The old man crossed in the twilight dim. The sun and stream had no fears for him. But he turned when safe on the other side and built a bridge to span the tide. Old man, said a fellow pilgrim near, you never again must pass this way. You have crossed the chasm deep and wide. Why build you this bridge at eventide? The builder lifted his old gray head. Good friend, the path I have come, he said, if followeth after me today. A youth whose feet must pass this way. This chasm which has been gnawed for me, to that fair-haired youth may a pitfall be. He too must cross in the twilight dim. Good friend, I'm building this bridge for him. At first impression, this poem is a story about crossing a deep ditch in semi-darkness, filled with a rushing tide, capable of drowning anyone crossing to the other side. But there are more interpretations, and in this case, for me, a more meaningful impression. Such was my experience when I first heard this poem at the end of my freshman year in college. At first, I was struck by the picture it painted in my mind. But then I was struck by the meaning it imparted upon me. I am not the first, nor will be the last to interpret the message that older, experienced men and women have much to offer young people, making their ways safer and easier. How old does one have to be? Any age, you can help for those who follow. Last week during chapel, we had several examples of this. Each young man telling his story offered to make our journey easier. I interpret the meaning of this poem to refer not to just the age and wisdom, but to the idea that whatever we do, whenever we do it, wherever we do it, our actions will affect the lives of those who follow in our footsteps. There are many ways that you and I can build small but important bridges. I've thought for years about presenting this speech I give today, and I finally found the proper forum for this presentation, Cardigan Mountain School. Cardigan's core values, long instilled in all of us who have attended Cardigan, past and present, are bridges built by those who came before to guide us in our daily lives at this unique school. We could be swept away without these guiding principles we call our core values: compassion, honesty, respect, integrity, scholarship, and fairness. This poem had such meaning for me as a young man that it determined my life's work I would teach. Whether teaching core subjects like math and science, extracurricular activities like photography and sports, are teaching young men with a desire to learn how to build houses. My life and love has been to teach. I hope that each of you find a career that you love, and that each of you will find bridges to build today and throughout your future. So as you leave chapel today, go forth today committed to the building of bridge. Thank you.